Good evening and welcome to San Francisco Playhouse. My name is Mary Claire Erdenast. I'm the Associate Artistic Director at San Francisco Playhouse. If we have met before, I'm so glad to see you. And if we haven't, I'm looking forward to getting to know you a little better from the comfort of your own home. I hope you've had the chance to see Heroes of the Fourth Turning by Will Arbery. And if you haven't, it's playing now at San Francisco Playhouse until March 6th. And I hope to see you there. Thank you for coming to our fourth Zoomlet series. I love Zoomlets. I love how they introduce us to new work, new artists, new playwrights, new directors. Zoomlets give a chance to peek in on the rehearsal process and see how artists work. It shows us a behind the scenes look of how a play would be worked on. I'm so excited to hear tonight's work read out loud for the first time. I want to take a moment to acknowledge that San Francisco Playhouse stands on the land of the Ramaytush Ohlone people. We want to recognize the history of the land and that the Ramaytush Ohlone people are alive and flourishing members of the Bay Area communities. We're so grateful to live, work, and learn on their land. For those of you who are new to Zoomlets, I want to tell you a little bit about them. They're like the taking apart of a 10 to 15 minute play in an hour-long program. As Associate Artistic Director, I worked with Bill English, the Artistic Director, to pick the plays and pick directors. And then it's on to the directors to pick a cast. And if it were a full production, they'd pick designers and get to work on shaping the production. Tonight's Zoomlet is an example of what a first rehearsal of a play would look like. The director, playwright, and actors all gather around a table and read the script for the first time out loud together. Then everyone might talk about what they noticed, hearing it out loud for the first time, and a conversation that will inform the next rehearsal of the play. Tonight's Zoomlet is Upstream, Downstream by Sam Hamashima and directed by Mei Liang. So I'm going to ask Mei and Sam to come on out and kick off this rehearsal. Hi.
Hi.
So, Sam, you are muted. Okay.
Yes, I am muted. No, I know. How are you?
I'm so excited to have you both here.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah. So Sam,
Yes.
we're doing this. We're rehearsing once again after, I don't know,
Yes.
almost a year since we have seen each other and done work together.
So yeah, wow, a year. Time really flies. Also, time isn't real, and all those things. Yeah, no, I'm so excited, and I'm so excited we're working on this piece, like, because we haven't worked on anything in like this style yet, I feel like, together. So I'm just like, I'm excited to like kind of look at that together and kind of stretch my voice in this way with you. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I know, I'm excited to work with you again. And I'm also excited to introduce our cast for today. Please welcome Gabby and Dennis. Welcome. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Gabby.
Hey, how are you? Hi, Gabby.
Hi, Dennis.
How are ya?
I'm good. It's good to be here in this space with y'all. Yeah, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Gabby. I also go by G. My pronouns are they, them. And I currently reside on Narragansett land here on the East Coast. And so it's a little bit later for me, but I am ready. I am rested and excited to jump into this work with y'all. How about you, Dennis? Who are you?
Well, I'm Dennis here on the West Coast. I have my pronouns are he and him, and I'm never too sure. Where I reside in Vallejo, there were a lot of tribal networks moving through the area because we're sitting right at the mouth of the Napa River. So I'm never too sure whose land it was, but it was certainly indigenous. And happy to be here. Happy to be working again. It feels good.
Good. I'm so glad. And we'll introduce ourselves as well, me and Sam. So hello, everybody again. My name is Mei Liang. I'll be the director for today. I use she, her pronouns, and I am currently Zooming from the land of the Chochenyo speaking Ohlone, aka Oakland, California.
And I am Sam. Sam I am. I'm Sam Hamashima. My pronouns are they, them. I am currently on the Lenape land of New York City. I'm the playwright here, and so I'm on that East Coast, so we got in the little 10 p.m. But I'm hydrated and I'm moisturized, and I am treating it like it is 7 p.m., babe. And that's me.
Yes, yes.
Yay, thank you so much. So should we get started or? Yeah, awesome. Okay, so welcome to first rehearsal. A couple of really quick things. I know I've worked with pretty much all of you, but just to create a space that feels most conducive to me. So yes, we have these titles like director, playwright, actor, but when we're in rehearsal, I really love it for it to be a bit more horizontal. So every single person who is in this room is an artist, and you all have your artistic opinions and your perspectives and your insight, and I asked that everybody just comes in sharing all of those things. So if you're like an actor and you are embodying one of the characters and there's a question, or there's like, oh, I'm not really sure what the intention is here, I think it may be this, I'm going to trust your instincts on that. Like, I'm of course going to have my own instincts and I might make some suggestions, but I just want to make sure that we're in a space where we can all feel free to do things like that and to help each other and support each other in a way that feels good, in a way that moves the art forward. So that's always my number one thing, is that these rooms are more horizontal, especially when we're like experimenting with a new play or we're talking about something that's being worked on currently in development. I think that just makes the conversations and the play and the art that we're making much more rich. And I find it helpful for the playwrights. And of course, the playwrights don't have to like agree. Ultimately, it is your work. But I do feel like having a space like that helps. It's conducive to the art that is being made. And then it gives a better understanding, at least from a writing perspective, of like what some people may be thinking about, or what's the framework or context that they're working in. So there's that. And today we're gonna, since it's only an hour and I would like to have a final reading of the script, I might move pretty quickly. So just note that I might, say this, and this, let's go. And other thing is have fun. Let's have fun like we always do. So to start off with, we're going to read through the whole script together, and then we're going to do a little bit of table work. I might ask for some adjustments, and then we'll probably read through it again. And typically, we have like a stage manager who can help read through some of the stage directions. But actually, did you want to?
Do you want me to do? I can do it.
I'm also available to do that if you need me to.
Okay, come on.
Really? Okay.
Awesome. I don't have it pulled up, so let me do
it. Great, because there's some beautiful stage management. One of the things I love about Sam's work is even like the stage directions are like artistic and they have so much personality in them. And so for the first read through, I'd love some help with Marie Claire, if you can read the stage directions, and just know that I might have the actors in the end product read the stage directions, just because a lot of it pertains to your character and like how you're feeling in the moment. So it might be nice to hear it from your own voice. All right, any questions before we do our first read through? Okay, let's see. For the stage directions, we don't have to do the character, so just go from the first page to the second page that has actual like play writing in it. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna turn my camera off just so I can focus on you all, and then I'll be back after the reading when you're ready.
Late winter in Riverside Park pre-COVID-19. The light is softy, retreats in incoming dusk. Few people walk along the Hudson pathway. It is too chilly, but 24-year-old Pigsa enjoys the solitude the cold provides. Pigsa plays Cardigan by Taylor Swift through her headphones. The song plays for us as the audience were sitting in her ears. What is Pigsa thinking? Is Pigsa thinking at all? This sad girl aesthetic. No comments from the irony of Pisca. Oh, I was reading the name wrong, sorry. For it is her life. Then comes along this Gordon fisherman character. No, really, he looks like he's about to come onto some expedition to Alaska for salmon. The bright yellow fishing coat. Mac wears the whole fish stick advertisement getup, and he wears it well. Pisca doesn't see Mac right away, but becomes quite obvious someone else is there. Mac drags a large wagon of some sort, the contents of a large Yeti cooler, 2 fishing poles, a net, a 6-pack of beer, bump each other and clink. Who is this man? Pisca tries not to get distracted from her meditative stare across the river, but Mac is really loud. Mac also starting to get into Pisca's space. Mac sets up the folding chair. Cardigan by Taylor Swift continues to play. Mac warms his hands by rubbing them together. Who is this man? Pisca looks over. They make eye contact, and quickly Pisca breaks back into looking forward out towards the great state of New Jersey. Because I knew you, stepping on the last train marked me like a bloodstain. Mac tries to speak with Pisca. Because we are hearing what Pisca is hearing, Mac's sound should either be muffled or simply non-existent against the cardigan. Pisca continues to look away and maybe pretends she is oblivious to him. He will go away. Mac tries to get her attention again. Mac waves his hand in an innocent way. Startled, Pisca takes her headphones off. Cardigan abruptly stops. We are no longer in her ears.
What?
Is it all right if I set up here? Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes.
Mac returns to setting up. The cooler, the fishing rod, the beer in his hand, the first cast and the first drink, the first sip. Pisca embraces the peculiarity.
What are you trying to catch out here?
What?
What are you trying to catch?
Trout.
Are you going to eat it?
Huh?
Are you going to eat the fish?
Oh, no.
So then what are you going to do with it?
Not eat it.
You got a second fishing rod? You waiting for someone?
Not really.
Not really?
Nah, sometimes people join, sometimes people don't.
You just have one for strangers to join you.
Why not? I mean, people do chess with strangers in Washington Square. It's not like strangers meeting in parks is a far-flung concept here.
A bite on the line.
The line's got you.
I've got a bite.
Mac lunges for the fishing rod. Mac tries to pull it in. Ooh! Pisca watches the pull and tug of the trout. Like the uncorking of a bottle or the opening of a soda can, a trout appears on the line. It wiggles to and fro, trying to get off of the hook, but unsuccessfully. Perhaps a beautiful puppet. Shimmering scales that look slightly rusted from the pollution.
Wow, now that's a beauty.
Oh my God.
Hey, you mind grabbing the net?
Yeah, sure.
Pisca goes to the wagon and retrieves the net. After reeling it back in, Mac grabs the line. He holds the fish up to get a good look at it. Wriggle, wriggle. Pisca returns with the net. The fish wriggles to and fro, almost hitting Pisca in the face.
Watch where you swing that fish.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Great. Put the net right under it.
Mac puts the fish in the net.
Right like that. Yep, great. Yeah, so catch these fish, trout mainly. This one is a bit bigger than usual. Usually they're about like, like usually as big as they get when I can find them. But sometimes they're bigger like this one. Usually not though. Here, trade with me.
Mac holds out a hand. Mac and Pisca trade the net and the fishing rod. Mac goes to put the trout in his cooler.
What do you do now?
Well, you see, I just put them in the cooler. There you go.
The fish disappears into the cooler. Mac comes back to Pisca's side. Mac grabs the line as Pisca holds the fishing pole awkwardly. Mac begins to prepare the line, bait, maybe a new hook.
Do I have to hold it?
Right now you do.
People are staring.
Okay. Hold on. Almost done. I can take it. Thank you. And I just recast that line like that. Yep, I go back to my chair, take a sip of beer, and just do it all over again.
Mac does these modest actions as he speaks. Then he ends with the chair and a beer, looking at the fishing pole and the line that bobs in the water. Pisca looks around self-consciously.
You're new to the city.
How did you know?
Looking around. You're still worried about what people think, what people see in you.
No, I'm not worried about.
Sure. With your outfit from ASOS and H&M.
How did you?
Because every girl in this city who wants to be different or special somehow managed to all shop in the same digital discount store. Really unique outfit.
Okay, you got me.
If you want to be real unique, go shopping for vintage in Brooklyn.
Really?
No, that was a joke.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to live life the way you want to live it. And rent's too expensive.
Way too expensive.
Hey, you want a beer?
Why not?
Tell them from the side I started with, the left side. I chilled those first.
Thank you.
Cheers. Another way I know you're new to the city,
Oh, what's that?
you take beer from strangers.
Got me.
Yeah, college towns syndrome.
What? Like I expect people to be nice?
Yeah, something like that. I read about it once.
Wow.
What?
I didn't know you could read.
Jokes. Oh, she got jokes. Oh, very good. Very good. What's your name?
Pisgah.
Pisgah. Pisgah. Pretty name. I'm Mac. Like
mac and cheese.
Yeah, sure. Or well, mackerel might be more fitting for our current situation here.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
A tug on the fishing line. The fishing rod falls.
A bite. Get it.
Pisca instinctively goes to grab the fishing rod while Mac leaves his chair and beer.
What am I doing?
Reel it in. Like this.
Okay.
That's great. That's awesome. Great job. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Well, it's a fighter. This has to get. Oh, this has got to be a big one. Just hang on. Keep reeling. Yep. Just keep going. Wow. Look at that. Yep. Keep going. Nice. Going. That's number 21. Number two, excuse me. That's number two.
Mac grabs the net. A similar sequence as before happens, except this time with Pisca and the fishing rod and Mac with the net. The fish disappears into the cooler.
Nice going.
That was thrilling, awesome, fantastic, amazing.
Yeah. Fishing was really fun. More people should do it.
I mean, like, whoa, just the fight and then seeing it on the line and it's squirming. Ooh. You don't kill the fish, do you? You don't kill the fish, right?
I don't kill the fish.
Good.
What? Well, you're gonna think this is funny.
It's fine. You're fine.
I take the fish upstream, like up towards Poughkeepsie area, and I release them up there. I mean, why not, right? Like here the Hudson is just like gross. Like maybe dead bodies in the river gross. And it's like, oh, those poor trout.
Those poor trouts. Oh my gosh. Wow.
No, for real. Think about how awful they must feel in there. Yeah. Are you finished?
Yes. I'm finished. Continue.
Look, think about living somewhere that's smelly all the time, loud, polluted. And then you could go somewhere with clean water, clean air, better light. These fish, they don't know. Like they don't even comprehend that something better is out there. But like we do. And we're the ones shitting in the river and screwing it up. So maybe we should do something to help fix it. Or at least help them. Because we know they could have it better. And so many people could have it better. Like so many people. If they could just swim upstream a little bit, if they could choose, who knows what they could be or what they could have been, right? You don't have to stay, If you think what I'm doing here is close to crazy, you can go. I don't have to get your approval on this. I'm not hurting anyone.
Can I cast the line too?
You wanna?
What they could be or what they could have been. That's why I moved here, to find out what I could be. I mean, there's no way to know what I could have been. Time doesn't work that way, but I can see what is possible now.
Mac hands Pisca the rod. She casts it.
I'm not from a place like this. Where I'm from, the land stretches and the buildings don't cut the sky like these ones do. It feels like you're in some beautiful enclosure.
Wow. Sounds like a place worth staying in.
Not for me. Well, it was. It's like the whole town was sleepwalking when you're awake and no one else is. It's kind of lonely.
I get that.
You're giving those fish a choice. It's admirable. Laughable? Sure. I bet some fish choose to stay in Poughkeepsie and some come back downstream. But at least they've got a choice now, right?
Right. I mean, everyone deserves a choice.
Let's fill this cooler with all the trout in the Hudson.
You got yourself a deal.
One thing,
Yeah.
ASOS actually has really comfortable leggings.
I'll bet they do.
Both fishing rods twitch at the same time. Bites. The lights fade. End of play.
Yay! That was great. Oh, that's so sweet, Sam. Oh my goodness.
Those poor fish. Ah,
You're giving them a choice, though. They have a choice.
I know.
They left their families behind.
No,
First.
I take them to a better place than I live, and I got to stay on the Hudson.
Right. Oh, that was so great. Okay, I have so many things to say, but I will be last. Do either of you just want to share what that experience was like, or something that stood out to you, or something you want to speak about your character, what you discovered?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really sticking with me is like the beautiful kindness of strangers and how that can really transform someone's expectations and like day and trajectory and path. And I feel like I'm just thinking about how also really quick, I wanted to clarify, is it Pisga? I wanted to make sure I was saying it correctly.
Yeah, it's Pisgah.
Pisga, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Beautiful.
it's a national forest in North Carolina.
Oh,
Really?
Oh.
I love knowing that.
Yeah, my dramaturgist didn't come up with that, so.
Yes. Pisgah National Forest. Okay. For the
Okay.
books. But yeah, I was just saying that I just really loved like Pisgah's journey and like hearing it now like out loud versus just reading it. Like it's clear to me that like both of these people kind of start in one place and end up in another. And it's just beautiful seeing that arc of Pisgah being like, who? To like, I did this thing and now it's like, okay. By the end of the play, like they have developed this beautiful rapport with each other. And yeah, it's a really feel good story. And I'm grateful to have embodied that just now.
Yeah.
A beautiful first meeting, Dennis. Nice to meet
Yeah.
you.
Same here. Yeah, no, it was, first of all, it's always really nice to get it in front of somebody and talk to somebody rather than rehearsing it on your own and, on your couch. And, it allowed me to, as you went through it, to connect with the character and really feel that, at first she's a little standoffish. That's okay. But I can kind of move her through, and then the fishing gets to her a little bit, which of course I get excited about. And so, I get to impart it to her. So it takes on almost a paternal kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's got that vibe to it, like, oh, okay. Yeah, just, keep it on the hook. Just wait a second, slow down, that kind of thing. And it felt good to be able to feel into to experience that with you.
Yes. Yeah, I just to add to that, just that moment of like that beautiful, it felt like just like this like teaching or like handing the torch over in some way. And like there was this moment of trust that needed to happen where like Pisgah had to like shed that standoffish thing to like, oh, this is actually really amazing. And this like, random person is here like sharing these new things with me. What does it look like if I lean into that? And I love that. That's the path that we end up going down.
Yeah. And to me, Mac,
you know what? Like,
Mac
can I do
feels
this
good.
too?
Yeah, Mac feels good. He now has maybe a new fishing partner. He comes down with 2 rods, and kind of just probably most of the time people look at him like, maybe we should stand off from this dude a little bit. And she kind of gets into it. He gets into it with her, and it feels good.
Yeah, totally. Oh, thank you both for sharing. It was a great first like run through. I was like, oh, nice, sweet. Like y'all like picked it up really fast. So that was awesome. Sam, did you have any thoughts or did you want to share anything with us?
I just, wow, you all were so great. And like, you just like breathed some like life into this piece, and it was just so cool. Like, just watching these two characters like really develop. So thank you so much, because I was picking up on things like I had not picked up on, and I was like, oh my god, cool. Like, I think like I've always been sort of like not fascinated, but like there's always those people who are like, bring a chessboard to Washington Square Park and just like, I'm gonna play chess with someone. Like, like I have like a travel Scrabble board, and like this summer I'm like, I want to do that, but like, what is that interaction like? You know what I mean? And so like that's kind of where this started for me. And it's, I love it. That's where it started, and it's becoming this dynamic like slice in this like these two people who live in this one place together, who probably have never seen each other before, their like moment, right, where they both they put their guards down in a way. And it's like, I think it's really beautiful, because I really want to feel that safe. Like, I want to feel that safe enough to be like, oh, this person has a fishing rod, and I'm going like, this is a cool thing, and that is sort of that like magical like realism aspect. And I was thinking of another possibility of like, what if like the cooler is like a portal, and like they don't have to go up to Poughkeepsie. But then I was thinking like, no, I actually love the constraints of like this reality, and this like magical figure Mac sort of like living in it. And in terms of like magical thinking, like that's his thinking, and that's something that I really love that I hadn't realized before, is that this person is not magical. He's just more empathetic and more of like the kindness of humanity, right? And in some ways that is magical now, right? And I had sort of that discovery as I was watching this of the magic in the realism.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely, Sam. Thank you. Yeah, because I think when you had a different version of this, and I think that version had like a little bit more magic in it. And and this version, it is more based in reality, but I think it still has that like feeling, because it's like it's unconventional, right? It's not something that like we normally see or like in real life, right? And just to your initial question of like, how do people just like go out there and play with strangers? Like, how does that work? This is like digging into the magic of that exact question. And it's interesting too, because like, so for the character descriptions, we have Mac, gruff, as real as you want them to be, charming, gruff and charming, which I think is funny. It's a really interesting mixture of characteristics. And then for Pisca, mildly joyful, just mildly, but also joyful. Right. So you're like putting these really interesting descriptions of characters, like in 2 words, you're describing these people in a way that feels really like, yep, I know somebody like that. Yeah, she's trusting a girl who thinks she's not like the other girls.
But she's listening to Taylor Swift, and she's got ASOS leggings. Yeah. And, like, I also, I don't know. I'm not going to go off on that, but it's not going off. It's just like, I know this person because I am this person.
I love it. And the fact that like Mac is like scoping out her outfit was just like, that's from ASOS. I was like, okay, right. Mac.
Yeah. Like he knows. How in the world does he know? Yeah, right.
It's a clock.
I do think that, so everything that y'all were saying, I definitely picked up. This arc is really wonderful. We have these 2 sort of like fish out of water.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Watch out.
Oh, she jokes. She's got jokes. Oh.
Yeah, so we have these 2 like fish out of water who are like, you wouldn't imagine, like I kind of imagine, in the San Francisco Bay Area, there's a lot of like elder Asians who like do go out and play chess or do like Tai Chi out in public, and people just join them and they just like start talking. And so it kind of gives me that feeling of that. And I do think from Mac, it comes from the fact that like, you've lived your life. We don't know exactly what your backstory is, but Dennis, like, you can create a life story where obviously his passion is like fishing. Maybe he, I don't know if he used to, but he's always loved fishing. And that was something he'd always like shared with people in his life that he cared about. And for Pisca, I imagine, is like a young, just fresh out of college, 24-year-old who's still trying to like find their way. And so having somebody who feels so certain in who they are, I think also pulls that out of you a little bit. Like, wow, this person is doing the randomest, craziest thing, but they know who they are. And I think in some ways it's somewhat inspiring for you to see that and to find that. And he doesn't care. He's literally wearing the whole outfit. So he like obviously doesn't care. But also he obviously like thinks about his aesthetic as well. He's like, I'm gonna go out in this like fishing outfit. And he's like, I know about ASOS. Like, so he's obviously really, yeah. Oh, Sam, that's so great. I just saw your chat. Is it okay if I just share your chat?
Yeah, sure.
Chat just shared that Pisca is the forest in the city.
Said what?
Pisca is the forest in the city.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Maybe trying to fit in, trying to find like, you know, where she stands. Yeah, so I want to definitely keep the arc, and I'm just gonna adjust a couple of things. So the first is that like, I think Pisca at first, you can even dive more, not into like, she's not mean. She's not like a mean person, but she's like, I'm cool and I'm going to keep my cool. And like, you're not cool. So it's not any, like, not coming from like a malicious place at all. I don't think she has that. But like, because I think she's so stuck in her, like, I need to fit in, or I need to find a place, that like when she finds somebody completely out of the blue, she's like curious about it, but she's also very careful. So she's more guarded than anything. And the guard, that being guarded can come out in different ways, right? It could come out in anger, it could come off as like a standoffish, but in the end it's mostly her like feeling guarded. So like, that's kind of the approach I think I'd like for you to try in the next one, to come in. And then for Mac, I think, you know, Mac already knows what he's doing. So like, you don't, I again, like you're definitely the one that like initiates it a little bit, because you're the one that's like, hey, do you mind if I sit here? Like, is that okay? You know, you're obviously cognizant of like a young woman by herself, and you don't want to like come off as like intimidating or anything. I think that like Mac is just really good at like sensing those things. And so like for you, yeah, just like coming as your like charming full self. You're completely understanding of how you look like and what you represent and what this person might be thinking of you. But I think because, again, of your wisdom and of the way that you even just like position yourself and talk to her, there's this rootedness. Like there is you are like the older tree in the forest, and you're rooted, right? And that can sort of help. I think that maybe helps Pisca to kind of bring that. Oh my God, we only have 20 minutes left. Okay. This is real rehearsal. Cutting off my time short now. And then I do want to just ask one question for the both of the actors is, where do you think the trust begins, and where does the guard, especially for Pisca, like where does that come off more? And how does that then influence your interaction? I felt it, but I also didn't want to like tell you specifically it's on this line. Like I want you, I want to see if there's a consensus around
I
that.
don't know. Who are you asking?
Both of you, everyone.
Oh, okay. For me, I think the opening into Pisca was when she got curious about the fish. I mean, something actually happened. It wasn't this guy just sitting there with a rod and a reel. And he asked her to help. You know, would you go over there? Would you get that net for me? It's like, what? You know, no. Who in the world would ask me to get a net? And what the fuck is a net? You know, and but he totally trusts her. Yeah, just put it under. Yeah, put it under here, and he feels comfortable instructing her with what to do, and he's happy with the result. He's very thankful.
Right.
I mean, because he's caught fish. Come on, this guy's caught fish. He knows how to use a freaking net. He knows, So
he catches big fish all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, he did about this long, but this is a big one. And
yeah. And I think too that and maybe you remember the first time you caught a fish, and this is literally you're witnessing her first time catching a fish.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh yeah, this is great. Isn't this great? There's that shared moment right there.
You did great. Yeah. I think there's the reveal to me from Mac opening up to her was when he starts telling her his real story, his purpose. And which he doesn't share with a lot of people, because that to the average person, that's a little kooky. That's a little weird. He takes it, even though that's what we do. Fishermen catch and release all the time, and but other people, the average person, doesn't understand that. No, you catch it, you take it home, you cut it up, and you eat it, right? No, I let it go, and it's like you let it go. You catch it, do all that work, and you let it go.
Yeah, as someone who has never gone fishing before, I had genuine surprise reading this for the first time. I'm in consensus. I feel like the moment where I feel like trust starts to form is this exciting event of a bite on the line of oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh, you're helping me figure out this thing, and this thing is actually pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing. And then it's
totally trust you.
Yeah, exactly. Mac walking Pisgah through that whole process, I think really solidifies okay, I can settle into this now and try my best, lean into the experience. I think that the guard kind of starts to peel away in this moment.
Great.
Exactly.
Amazing. Yay. Good. All right. So now that we know where that point is, notice what happens to you and what is that relationship that starts to build as you were saying those next lines. Now that we know what the turning point is, let's see where that turning point can continue. And you were already doing this. I'm not saying you weren't. But now that we sort of have an exact moment, let's see what we can discover by pinpointing that moment for all of us. And then just a couple of quick things. I know that was your first time reading it, really, so that's great. The second time, I'm going to ask that I know there's a lot of stage directions and stuff, so I'm actually going to go through and let you know what the stage directions are that are going to be read and not read. And Marie Claire, if you can help us with that as well, I'm going to let you know what is and isn't read for you as well. One thing I want to add, and this is just something I like to do, but now in readings is I'm actually going to ask the both of you to help me read the first page. That's all stage directions. Okay. So get your highlighters out, however you want to do this. And I'm going to tell you what you are going to read each, who's going to read what basically.
Okay.
So Gabby, if you can start with late winter in Riverside and read all the way down to 1, 2, 3, 4, that fourth paragraph where it ends just, for it is just her life, until there. And then I also want you to read in the middle of that next large paragraph, Pisgah does not see Mac right away, but it becomes quite obvious someone else is there. So reading that. And then you're also reading the line, next paragraph, who is this man? Pisgah tries not to get distracted from her meditative stare across the river. And then you're going to read again, who is this man? The last two short ones, who is this man? And then it ends with New Jersey.
And just clarifying that the last highlight was who is this man through across the river?
Through going into New Jersey. Pisgah breaks back to look back towards the great state of New Jersey.
May I have a question? Am I reading all of the stage directions and then Gabby pops in, or is it just?
No, Gabby's going to read all these stage directions. So I'm giving you off the hook. You will read some, you're going to read towards the end a little bit, but that's it. Thank you for that question. And then, okay, that's it for this page. And then, Dennis, you are going to read, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that 5th big paragraph on the 2nd page. Do you see that?
2nd or 3rd page?
With all the stage directions. We're on the page with all the stage
okay.
Yeah.
So the 2nd page of that.
Yeah, so it's page 2, basically on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that 5th paragraph where it starts, then comes this Gordon fisherman character. So read all of that until and he wears it well. So all the way up to that.
Okay.
And also where it says, and then skip a sentence, and then where it says Mac drags a large wagon of some sort. Read that as well.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to have you read that next paragraph. Starts with, but Mac is really loud. So start with that.
Okay.
And then, so you'll read, but Mac is really loud. Mac is also starting to get into Pixa's space. Mac sets up the folding chairs. So read that.
All the way down to folding chair. Gotcha.
Yes. And actually, Gabby, let's not read those last two. The last paragraph I gave you, let's not read. So anything after the Taylor Swift lyric, we're not going to read.
Okay.
Okay. And then after this is where Marie Claire is going to come in and start reading stage directions. I just wanted to set up you two as like those two people. And then so Marie Claire, if on page 3, you can read Mac returns to setting up. That little paragraph. On page 4, that last 2 paragraphs down there is important. The middle on page 5, those middle paragraphs talking about like reeling things in, talking about that. So anytime where they're like fishing, you should talk about those things because, and of course I want you as actors to be like, I don't know, I don't really know Dennis either, but you know, read it in with those things. And that paragraph where you're like encouraging her, that's great, that's awesome. On page 10, you can do that very quickly, and you can, and then Gabby, maybe you're the one that's like telling us like, I got it, so that like Dennis can know when to say that's number 2. So maybe like just some sort of cue to give Dennis so that Dennis can say that's number 2. Yeah, and then the last 3 stage directions is Marie Claire, end of play, until end of play.
Okay.
All right, so let's try that. And we're going to go as far as we can within the time given, and we'll see how things change up. Yeah?
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, let's see what this sounds like. Thank you so much. I'm going to go off video and just not distract anybody else with my face. All right. Whenever you're ready, Gabby, you can start us off.
Late winter in Riverside Park, pre-COVID-19. The light is softy, retreats with the incoming dusk. Few people walk along the Hudson River pathways. It is too chilly, but 24-year-old Pisca enjoys the solitude the cold provides. Pisca plays Cardigan by Taylor Swift through her headphones. The song plays for us as if the audience were sitting in her ears. What is Pisca thinking? Is Pisca thinking at all? This is sad girl aesthetic. No comments on the irony from Pisca, for it is just her life.
Then comes this Gordon fisherman character. No, really. Like he looks like he's about to go on some expedition to Alaska for salmon. The bright yellow fishing coat. Mac wears the whole fish stick advertisement getup. And he wears it well.
Pisca doesn't see Mac right away, but it becomes quite obvious someone else is there.
Dennis, you read this part?
Oh, yeah. Let's skip right past. I've lost my place here. Holy mackerel. Mac,
And then
Mac,
Mac
there
drags a large, yes.
yeah,
there you
Mac
go.
drives a, yeah, Mac drags a large wagon of some sort. The contents: a large Yeti cooler, 2 fishing poles, a net, and a 6-pack of beer. Bump each other and clink.
Who is this man? Priska tries not to get distracted from her meditative stare across the river.
But Mac is just really loud. Mac is also starting to get into Piska's space. Mac sets up the folding chair.
Cardigan by Taylor Swift continues to play. Mac warms his hands by rubbing them together. Who is this man? Piska looks over. They make eye contact and quickly. Piska breaks back to looking forward out towards the great state of New Jersey. 'Cause I knew you stepping on the last train, marked me like a bloodstain.
Mac tries to speak with Piska because we are hearing what Piska is hearing. Mac's sounds should be either muffled or simply non-existent against the cardigan. Piska continues to look forward. Maybe if she pretends she is oblivious to him, he will go away. Mac tries to get her attention again. He waves his hand in an innocent way. Startled, Piska takes her headphones off. Cardigan abruptly stops. We are no longer in her ears.
What?
Is it all right if I set up here? Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes.
Mac returns to setting up the cooler, the fishing rods, the beer in the hand, the first cast, and the first drink. They sit.
What are you trying to catch out here?
What?
What are you trying to catch?
Trout.
Are you gonna eat it?
Huh?
Are you gonna eat the fish?
Oh, no.
So then what are you gonna do with it?
Will not eat it.
You got a second fishing rod? You're waiting for someone?
Not really.
Not really?
No, sometimes people join. Sometimes people don't.
You just have one for strangers to join you.
Why not? People do chess with strangers in Washington Square. I mean, it's not like strangers meeting in parks is a far-flung concept here.
The line's you've got
A bite. Ha ha.
Mac lunges for the fishing rod. Mac tries to pull it in. Ooh, Piska watches the pull and tug for the trout. Like the uncorking of a bottle or the opening of a soda can, a trout appears on the line. It wiggles to and fro, trying to get off from the hook, but unsuccessfully. Perhaps a beautiful puppet, shimmering scales that look slightly rusted from the pollution.
Wow, that's a beauty.
Oh my God.
Hey, would you mind grabbing the net?
Yeah, sure.
After reeling it in a bit, Mac grabs the line. He holds the fish to get a good look at it. Wriggle, wriggle. Piska returns with the net. The fish wriggles to and fro, almost hitting Piska in the face.
Watch where you swing that fish.
Sorry. Look, I'm sorry. Great. Just put the net right under it. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. Great. Yeah. So catch these fish. Trout mainly. This one's a bit bigger than usual. Usually they're about like that. That's usually as big as they can get when I find them. But sometimes they're bigger, like this. Usually not though. Here, trade with me.
What do you do now?
Well, you see, I put them in the cooler. There you go.
Do I have to hold it?
Well, right now you do.
People are staring.
Okay, hold on. Almost done here. I can take it. Thank you. And just recast that line. Yeah, like that. Yep. I go back to my chair, I take a sip of beer, and I just do it all over again. You're new to the city.
How did you know?
You're looking around. You're still worried about what people think, what people see in you.
No, I'm not worried about.
Sure. With your outfit from ASOS and H&M.
How did you know?
Because every girl in this city who wants to be different or special somehow managed to all shop in the same digital discount store. Really unique outfit.
Okay, you got me. Good eye.
Now look, if you want to be real unique, go shopping for vintage in Brooklyn.
Really?
No, that was a joke.
Oh.
You got to live life the way you want to live it. Come on, rent's too expensive.
Way too expensive.
There you go. Want a beer?
Why not?
Yeah. Take them from my side. Take it from the side I started with, the left side. I chilled those first.
Thank you.
Cheers. Another way I know you're new to the city?
Oh, what's that?
You take beer from strangers.
Got me.
Yeah. College towns syndrome.
What? Like, I expect people to be nice?
Yeah, something like that. I read about it once.
Wow.
What?
I didn't know you could read.
Jokes. Oh, she's got jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. What's your name?
Pisca.
Pisca? Pisca. Pretty name. A Mac, like
Like mac and cheese.
yeah, sure. Oh, well, mackerel might be more fitting for our current situation.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the neighborhood. Oh, a bite. Get it.
Oh, what am I doing?
Reel it in like this.
Okay.
That's great. That's awesome. Great job. Yes, that's it. Wow. It's a fighter. Oh, this has got to be a big one. Just hang on. Keep reeling. Yeah, Wow. Wow, look at that. You keep going.
I got it.
Yeah. That's number 2. Nice going.
That was thrilling, awesome, fantastic, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, fishing is really fun. More people should do it.
I mean, like, whoa, just the fight and then seeing it on the line and it's squirming. Oof. You don't kill the fish, do you? You don't kill the fish, right?
I don't kill the fish.
Good. What?
We're gonna think it's funny.
It's fine. You're fine.
I take the fish upstream, like up towards the Poughkeepsie area, and I release them there. Well, why not, right? Like here the Hudson is just like gross. like maybe dead bodies in the river grows. And it's like, oh, these poor trout.
Those poor trouts. Oh my gosh. Wow.
No, 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 for real now. Think about how awful that they must feel in there. Are you finished?
Oh. Yes. Yes, I'm finished. Continue.
You think about living somewhere that's smelly all the time, loud, polluted. And then you could go somewhere with clean water, clean air, better light. These fish, they don't know. Like they don't even comprehend that something is better out there. But we do. And we're the ones shitting their river and screwing it up. So maybe we should do something to help fix it. Or at least help them. Because we know they could have it better. And so many people could have it better. So many people. If they could just swim upstream a little bit, if they could choose, who knows what they could be or what they could have been, right? You don't have to stay, If you think what I'm doing is something close to crazy here, you can go. I don't have to get your approval on this, because I'm not hurting anyone.
Can I cast a line too?
You wanna?
What they could be or what they could have been. That's why I moved here, to find out what I could be. I mean, there's no way to know what I could have been. Time doesn't work that way, but I can see what is possible now.
Mac hands Pisgah the rod. She casts it.
I'm not from a place like this. Where I'm from, the land stretches and the buildings don't cut the sky like these ones do. It feels like you're in some beautiful enclosure.
Sounds like a place worth staying in.
Not for me. It was. Well, it's like the whole town was sleepwalking. When you're awake and no one else is, it's kind of lonely.
Yeah, I get that.
You're giving those fish a choice. It's admirable. Laughable? Sure. I bet some fish choose to stay in Poughkeepsie and some come back downstream, but at least they've got a choice now, right?
Right. I mean, everyone deserves a choice.
Let's fill this cooler with all the trout in the Hudson.
You got yourself a deal.
One thing.
Yeah.
ASOS actually has really comfortable leggings.
Both fishing rods twitch at the same time. Bites. The lights fade. End of play.
Yay! Applause. Oh, thank you both. That's so beautiful. Thank you for your adjustments. And yeah, like it feels more, those characters feel more like people every, the second time. Like it feels, especially Gabby, like I think having that like national forest thing, that like really was very inspiring, Sam. So that was like, thank you for that like bit of information, right? Like a forest in the city. That feels really right. So thank you. Any other thoughts before we close and say goodbye for the night?
No, just thanks to everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was fun. Really fun.
What a fun way to hang out for an hour. This is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Playhouse, for allowing us the space, for sure.
Definitely.
Thank you, everyone. It was really fun to gather. And I also want to thank everyone at home who tuned in tonight. It's so good to see you all again. I hope you can make it to the next and final Zoomlet in our 4th Zoomlet series. So grab a ticket to 3 Tall Persian Women by Anita Abdinejad, directed by Dalia Asharina, streaming next Monday, February 28th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're so grateful to everyone who attended, and we're especially grateful to everyone who gave a small donation. Because we're paying all of the artists involved in the Zoomlets, and your donations help cover the costs of paying them. It's so helpful that you support the Zoomlets the way that you do. And if you haven't donated yet, you will still have another opportunity in the thank you email you receive. Also, make sure you get your tickets to Heroes of the Fourth Turning by Will Arbery. It's playing now live on stage at San Francisco Playhouse until March 6th. I hope I see you there, and I hope that you come to 3 Tall Persian Women next week. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and good night.
Bye, everybody.